So
Mhm.
let's look at a few more of these two-step equations. Let's say it's negative x minus 5 equals negative 4. Okay. So you always look at the side with the variable. Side with the variable is the left side, and you undo addition and subtraction before multiplication and division.
Okay.
So what are you going to undo on the left side here?
The 5
Okay, subtraction 5, right? So how do you undo subtraction by 5?
addition,
Add 5 to both sides. What does the right side become?
1, positive 1.
Positive 1. Okay, and it's good to write this negative 1 in front of the x. How do you undo multiplication by negative 1?
No division,
So you divide both sides by negative 1. What does this become?
negative 1.
Negative 1. Good. Okay. So let's have you try a couple problems here. Let's go negative 3 equals negative x plus 1. And I'll have you try this one on the right here. Negative x minus 4 equals negative 9. All right, so go ahead and work those out and let me know when you got some answers.
Okay. Okay. So for the first one, would it be x equals negative 4?
Okay, close. Got maybe a sign error there to think about. Let's look at that one first. So did you subtract 1 from both sides?
Yeah.
Okay, what is minus 3 minus 1?
Negative 4.
Good. So sometimes it's good to think about money if you're not sure about how to deal with signs, like you owe someone $3 and then you owe them another dollar, you owe them $4. How do you undo this here in front of X?
Adding. Oh wait,
Oh,
no, sorry, division.
divide by negative 1. You always divide by the number in front of X. Two negatives make a positive.
Positive.
Okay. How about the one on the right here? Or do you want to rework it?
I think I'll rework it because I think
Okay,
I did some wrong.
good, good, good choice. Take your time. Let me know what you
Would it be x equals 5?
Very good. Okay. All right, so some variations on these questions. These are really important, why we're just spending so much time on them, because it's easy to make these mistakes that, you never know why. So the variation on the problem here is like 3 minus x equals -6. Okay. So this is actually the same question we've been working on, but it's packaged up in a different format. Okay. And so the packaging here is that you have to really look at this as +3 minus 1 times x equals -6. Like that's what you either write or visualize. Okay. We don't normally put a plus in front of numbers, but we could. Okay. This subtraction goes with the thing to the right. It has nothing to do with this number on the left. Absolutely nothing to do with it. Okay. So
Okay.
+3, how do you undo addition by 3?
A subtraction.
Subtract 3, right? It's a simple thing to say, but this is it's like if you don't get this down, you're gonna really struggle when you're solving these equations. So what is -6 minus 3?
-9.
-9. And just like before, you divide by -1. So x equals what?
9.
9. Good. Okay. So sometimes, that subtraction, it's not like in the previous problems you did, you notice the negatives in front of x and there's off to the side with something. Here it's 3 minus x. So let's look at another example. Let's say it's a -10 equals -5 minus x. Okay. Something like that. Right. Now again, it's really -1 times x.
Mhm.
Like that. So what do you undo first? Well, you undo addition and subtraction before multiplication division. Okay, so like it's like you preheat the oven before you put the pie in. Like you don't put the pie in and then preheat the oven, right? It's kind of ridiculous.
Mhm.
Unless you know an exception to that. So what are you going to undo here on the right?
The -5.
So you're going to add 5 to both sides. What is -10 plus 5?
-5.
Okay, equals -x or -1x. And it's up to you if you keep writing the -1. You can for a while, you may find eventually you don't do that. Totally up to you. So what do you do from here to solve?
Divide by -1.
Good. And so x equals
5.
5. Good. Okay, so a couple of problems for you to try here. And then we'll move on to something else. Hopefully this isn't too boring. It's you're doing great. Just, little things here and there make all the difference when you're trying to solve these things. So here's a couple of problems and the answer is good, but the steps are probably just as important here for you to try. So go ahead and work these out. Let me know what you come up with.
Okay, so for the first one, I got x equals -4.
That is correct. How about, do you have the next one or do you need some more time?
The next one, I got x equals -11.
Perfect. Really good. Okay. So you feel like you're kind of getting this down. You got it, right? No big deal.
Mhm.
Okay. So the only way to sort of make these a little more difficult is to just increase the magnitude of the numbers. So you'll start seeing numbers a little bit larger. Um, and change a variable. So like it's not always X. X is good. We like X, but it could be another letter. You always, and I'll just put this list down, you always look at the side with the variable. Okay. So in
Okay.
this case, you're looking at the right-hand side. You always undo addition and subtraction before multiplication and division. And so one of the reasons I was asking if you are allowed to use a calculator is because uh, I know for some students, and it's not a criticism, it's just that sometimes these numbers get so large that you're just not comfortable. You don't typically divide by -13. And so if you need to grab a calculator, you are welcome to do that. I would prefer kind of that four function calculator, add, subtract, multiply, divide. But there's also one here I'll throw in the chat that I really like. The reason I like it is because you end up just typing it the way that you would you write it. So it's not kind of that weird thing where you're you put in your calculator, it doesn't look kind of the way you expect it. So I just snip this in here so you can see what it looks like when you use that Desmos scientific calculator. But basically, you got to look at the side, figure out where the variable is. You just look at that side only, undo addition, subtraction for multiplication, division. You always multiply or divide by the number in front of the variable.
Okay.
So whatever that means, in this case. So let me throw up a problem here for you to try. Like I mentioned last time, it'd be good for you to take notes. I am sending these out at the end, but totally up to you what you end up doing. And if you ever need me to scroll up, I can. But here's a problem for you to try, and let me know what you come up with.
Oh, could you scroll up to the one above? Thank you. Okay, I got y equals 15.
Close here. So sign errors are big. It's almost like scoring a goal on your own end. When you give the wrong sign, like it's that important. Occasionally you see that in sports, the answer is y equals negative 15. I heard positive 15, and maybe you meant negative, but I heard positive. So good news is math is not an oral exam. So if you ever, say the wrong answer, but you write the correct one down, that's preferred here. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Let me give you one more here to try. You'll find a lot of our lessons are about practicing, unless you're kind of in school mode where you're teaching a new subject, and then I'm kind of showing you how to work through some different problems. So let's see here. Let's grab another one of these. And I know the numbers are getting large, but that's the whole point is to make these things where, but actually, let me give you two here. Give you two to try. You get these right, we'll move on to something new. Well, we'll definitely move on to something new. So these are a little smaller numbers, so hopefully they go a little bit easier on you. So give those a try and let me know what you come up with.
Okay, for the first one, I got k equals -7.
Okay, good,
The second one, I got k equals 5.
good, really good. Okay, fantastic. So um, we can now move to some other questions, which are really not that much different. It's the same process. You undo addition and subtraction before multiplication and division. Okay. So you add 2 to both sides, okay, in the problem. Because if you look at the side with the variable, you see subtraction by 2, so you undo subtraction by 2 with addition by 2. You do that to both sides of the equation. X divided by 3 equals 6. So the only thing that's different about this one really is the fact that uh, it's um, it's division. So how do you undo division? Well, you uh, multiply. Is that okay?
Okay,
So you multiply by the number that's on the bottom.
so 18.
Yes. So X equals 18.
Okay,
Questions on that?
No, sorry.
Okay. So let me look at another one here. Throw up another one here. So why don't you try solving this one for me, please?
X equals 120.
So you add 6 to both sides. X over 8 equals 15. You multiply by 8. X equals 120. Good. Now sometimes, and we'll have to dive more into this next time, but sometimes the number on the bottom is negative, and I'll show you that here. A couple of examples. It's it can be a negative number on the bottom. You still undo addition and subtraction first. So you have X over -2 equals -9 times -2 times -2. X equals 18.
Okay.
All right, so whatever you see on the bottom is what you multiply by. Let's do one more here. Kind of same type of problem here. Actually, bring this up here. So again, whether it's addition or subtraction, you undo it, you add 2 to both sides, and you divide, or you multiply by the number that you're dividing by, which is -5. X equals -65.
All right.
Okay, well, that's going to probably do it for us for today. So for future lessons, just keep in mind that when you book online, the email gets generated automatically then.